Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
If you're wondering about what you can do if you find yourself in an FCPA compliance action, check out the FCPA Survival Guide. It's my latest book. It's sponsored by Ethico, and in it, I take up and write the top 10 things you can do to reduce your overall fine and penalty if you find yourself in an FCPA enforcement action. So check out the FCPA Survival Guide. The Daily Compliance News for February 4, 2025, the Reframing, Not Retreating edition. We begin with that story from the Financial Times, which reports that companies are not giving ground regarding having to illegally harass and discriminate against their employees. And while they may be ending programs promoting DEI, they have chimed in with the political zeitgeist and reframed these initiatives, recognizing that under Title VII you cannot discriminate, and that simply because you have DEI doesn't mean you have dumb people. They are striving to find a middle ground between these abandoned programs and their legal requirement. Next up, from CoinPedia, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, it poses the question of how Binance is ensuring legal compliance with U.S. authorities amidst industry security, and that would also mean a corporate monitor. So the sorry if I butchered that, stated the organization has 2 law enforcement coordinators, and that the duty of these officials is to ensure compliance with U.S. authorities, emphasizing how intolerant Binance is towards misconduct and fraud. He said that the organization has conducted over 120 investigations last year, and over 60 employees were fired for violations. So what this means for Binance, hopefully they'll be able to get through their DPA. Next up, from Bloomberg, both Trafigura and its former chief operating officer, Mike Wainwright, were convicted by a Swiss court on bribery charges, the first time a senior exec at a major commodity trading house has been found guilty of corruption. The case is the lightest to shine a light on the wrongdoings in the commodity trading industry. This, of course, includes Glencore, Vitol, and now Trafigura. So Trafigura had been charged with corruption, and now they've been found guilty. And finally, as reported in Forbes, the Consumer Financial Protection Board has been ordered to stop work. Yes, you heard it. At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.